This is just a couple pounds, and like while you're talking to somebody, hold it above your head. Also do it blindfolded and wearing like a down coat.
The left hand is strictly just in the left wing.
And there is a fishing wire that goes up through the neck of Big Bird, down to the right wing. It operates as a counterbalance.
And that was a clip from upcoming documentary, I Am Big Bird, the Caroll Spinney Story, the master puppeteer who has played Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch since Sesame Street's first episode 45 years ago. And we're so pleased to be joined today by Caroll Spinney himself. Caroll, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
We're all just such big fans of yours here. Tell us how you and Jim Henson first met and started working together.
So I went to the Puppeteers of America. They used to have an annual puppet festival, and so I went to that in Salt Lake City. And turns out Jim Henson went there to look for a person to hire to play two characters he wanted to build. One was a bird and one was a grouch. And I was in the right place at the right time, because I did a show that everything went wrong with my show. But out of my desperation, knowing he was in the audience, I said, oh, great, wonderful time to have everything go wrong. So I was pretty depressed. I was packing my stuff away. I said, well, this was a disaster. And I hear this voice, hello there. And I turn around, it's Jim Henson. He said, I like what you were trying to do.
And he asked you to come work with him.
Yeah, and he said, want to meet me at the lounge after you get through packing your stuff? And I said, sure, I'd love to.
Tell us how you came up with the character of Big Bird. Who is Big Bird?
Well, Jim was asked to come up with some puppets to add to Ernie and Bert already existed. And he come up with two more puppets so they could live on the street and be there every day. I got a chance to do Big Bird, and at first he was just a silly, goofy guy.
Just a goofy guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I said, you know, I saw more what the show was like and what it was about. I think I should play him as a kid.
So he is. So he's a big
He's
kid.
a 6-year-old, 8'2" bird.
Oh, I love it.
We know birds can be in all sizes.
Tell us about China and what it meant to you to go there first with Bob Hope and then again to do Big Bird in China.
I had already been with Bob Hope on a show when he didn't know who Big Bird was, because his children were grown up, and he didn't know. He said, what is it, a turkey, or was it a parrot? So when I was out dressed as Bird, when he entered the stage in front of the live audience, and a Big Bird looked at him and said, gee, I thought I had a funny-looking beak. Well, he thought that was the funniest thing he'd heard in 10 years. He told me that. And so because that joke got me to China.
Was Oscar based on anyone that you met? Or?
Well, it was based on, it was closer to Jim's. He took me, the day he hired me, he said, want to go out to lunch? He said, do you like seafood? I said, sure. And so we went to Oscar's Seafood on 3rd Avenue. It's not there anymore. And he said, what do you mean? There's a waiter in there who is so grouchy, he's hilarious. So I want to build this character based on his grouchiness. So it'll be Oscar, named after the store, and the Grouch based on the waiter. Never did meet the waiter, but
I heard that you listened to a voice once that you liked.
Yeah. So I get in the cab. The guy is chewing on a cigar, and he turns, looks at me, and says, "Where to, Mac?" And he went in about Mayor Lindsay. He did not care for Mayor Lindsay, and so I kept thinking, what a voice. You know, yeah, maybe the cigar affected his voice, because he talked like this with a cigar sticking out one side. And he said, yeah, they're Mayor Lindsay. I won't go into his language. It's not suitable for here. And so I just kept saying to myself, where to, Mac? I can do that voice. And so I got to the studio, and Jim said, are you ready? Do you have a voice that you've thought of? I said, yeah.